All right, welcome in to the. Hold on, I gotta say, it feels very good to start off a show with you guys, coming off a win over the South Carolina Game Chops. Welcome in to the
Nice.
Snapback Chop.
That was like the
podcast.
first integration too. That was pretty impressive.
Brand integration. Yeah,
Yeah.
Clemson brand integration, troll integration.
I like
Yep.
that. I like that. That's good stuff.
Can I just say I like that we get into it, but just hey, I'm about to hit start would be nice. Because last time I watched the video
9 different ways. It's
and
you
I'm
want it to
like
be
I'm
fresh,
looking at my
you don't
phone.
want me to
this
produce,
one,
and then
No,
it's like.
But why
Can't
does
win
it
with you on the starting of the Chop episodes?
I want us rolling at all times, but we could just. Anyways, now's my part. Anyways,
Are you saying that you say things that potentially wouldn't be safe for a live rec?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying I would like to look at camera instead of at my phone or at my feet when we're going to start. That way I'm more presentable to the audience.
Well, we start at 4, so.
No, that's true, but we're not a live show. You know what I mean? It's like, I get that we want to be timely, but we're also not a live show yet. Until we are, I would just like to know. Anyways, it's my turn to shine. What's up, Chopman? We added 8 of you since last episode. Last episode was only posted 3 days ago. 244 views since last recording. 251 subs in total. So we have 251 Chopman, the fastest growing sports podcast on the planet. And I checked the metrics for that, so that was big. And we're all 3 coming off rivalry wins. And last thing, I'm not shaving until Texas makes the college football playoff. How about that?
Wow.
Like even next year?
Whenever we make it, which should be this year.
I don't believe that's happening.
That's
for
not.
about
Well,
5 minutes,
you don't believe me. If you
it's just not happening. That is not happening.
If you think Steve Sarkisian is pissed off right now, you think Chris Del Conte, you think Greg Abbott, governor, is pissed off, wait until my pregnant wife has to deal with the worst beard in the world.
So are you doing the Man United bit? Are you doing the Man United bit?
Should I do it?
Well, you can't announce that you're doing it and then ask if
it was kind of like a fucking joke. Like, have you ever heard of a fucking joke? But like now I'm like, oh, maybe that would be a good. Like, I'm James Harden. And then next year, you're telling me the stakes we would have had for Texas to make the playoff?
I wouldn't hold your breath. Team fucking sucks.
No.
All
Your
right,
best win is over the team that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Can we just scrap the pod and do college football playoff talk? It's funny. So good.
We're on the agenda today is recapping rivalry weekend, discussing where the boys are headed this weekend. And you know what? We're going to talk sports on this show. We're going to talk about the college football playoff. We're going to break it down. We're going to debate it. We're just going to do the fucking brain rot that we love to listen to. And
let me say, though, it's the best. It's the best brain rot and distraction from the simulation in sports. It's better than the MVP in the NBA conversation. It's better than who's the best quarterback in football. Are the Patriots for real? Those combos suck. A conversation about which team should be in the playoff is so fucking good. And you know what?
Instead of being Joel Klatt, who's biased about the Big Ten but won't tell you, and instead of Saban, who's biased about the SEC and won't tell you, we're implicitly biased and we don't give a fuck. So you're going to get our opinions with our biases, but also we have educated takes along with it.
I'm not biased at all. I got no allegiance to anything.
Yeah.
Tim's good over there.
All right, let's get into it.
You're good too. You're good too.
No, I'm fine, but I want BYU in, so I'm going to fight their fight.
Okay. I actually always have wanted to create, and maybe this is a perfect time for this to be created. I wanted to create a platform where 2 people could debate and then people would vote on who won the debate. And I think for the college football playoff, like, give me the Miami side, give me the Notre Dame side, let's decide. And I think that's what we're going to do today. So
I think I have a very strong take about that. And then Tim, Jack was all in on college football playoff talk this weekend. And either be a yes man or get ready to battle, because I didn't agree with him and he like shunned me for the night pretty much.
What? When
He
did
was
I
like,
shun
"You're
you?
fired."
When did I? Tim, this
You
guy.
said, if
this
you don't
guy
understand-
We haven't even
Friday-
started the argument. We're
this
arguing
guy
about
Friday
what the
night.
argument
Yes,
was.
exactly.
This guy Friday night asleep in the second quarter of Texas A&M, and then he'll come out and be like, "Dude, Arch sucks." I'm like, "Did you see Arch play
that's
in
because
this game?"
Tim,
No.
Tim,
Did you see Arch play in-
I had 2 beers at dinner. So
Right, disaster, fucking disaster.
no, it was
All right,
great.
so we're recapping rivalry first, right?
And then Jack and I also, we were sitting at dinner and I was scrolling Twitter and he's like, "Do you want to talk?" I was like, "Yeah," but like we
No, he
actually
didn't wanna
don't
talk.
have that much to talk about. And then we did the math. We had spent 19 of the previous 21 days
And
together.
then I
He was
said,
like,
"Well,
I
what
was
if
like-
you what if
it
you
was
and your
one
girlfriend?"
Tuesday night, and he was like, "You know what I had for dinner?" I was like, "No, tell me about what you had for dinner on the one night I didn't eat dinner with you."
Tim, this guy, it was classic because I go, "Well, what are you gonna do when you finally have to talk to your girlfriend?" He's like, "We'll have so much to talk about." Literally, we call her. I love this girl. She's so sweet. This was the worst conversation. They actually did the weather thing. Oh, how's the weather?
No.
Oh, I mean, it was painful. I thought he was joking with the conversation.
I hadn't had a coffee yet, so I personally wasn't firing.
Literally, don't even talk to me until I have my coffee.
Literally.
My dad has a great bit, and he's dead serious. Whenever we would like call home at college or whatever, and you're just like rehashing with the family, my dad would just like all of a sudden not talk for like 20 minutes, and then my mom would be like, "You going to participate?" And he'd be like, "We're not going to have anything to talk about when they come home."
It's true.
And well, me, if I've never not been able, you never quite really in silence with me. But that was like, okay, well, then maybe you hear the story again at Thanksgiving. And it was like, when your kids are home, and he's just like, "Yeah, what are you going to, I mean, we already covered that." So
Yeah.
I can see.
I'm a big fan of no repeats.
All right, let's get into
Casey, when Jack was moving to Miami, it was like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss my brother." Yeah. And then like you guys go on to just spend.
Well, actually,
like,
I stood
together all the
I
time.
stood pretty firm on the fact that I wasn't gonna miss him, and my parents, my sister-in-law were both like, "You don't mean that. Like, you're just like deflecting because you're sad." And I was like, "No."
I think you
Nah.
did. You did say it. Like I do remember that conversation with you. You're like,
No,
yeah,
no. Brunch with the lady and like my frat bros. Yeah.
No, he's a beauty.
Five, sure.
Wait,
nah,
what
he's
does
the man? He's the
what
man.
does that?
No,
have
no,
to do
like
with
you
anything?
replace like intelligent conversation, brotherly love.
I talk
with,
to
like,
you more than
brunch.
anybody else
Brunch
in my
with
life.
your brain dead girlfriend.
There's nobody. Okay.
Mm.
What we're not going to do is throw strays at my perfect girlfriend.
Mm.
She actually, she sent me a TikTok at 3:10 p.m.
Let's build relationships on TikTok texts.
It said, "Falling in love
Fine.
with you was the best thing that I've ever done."
Okay. I mean, if we're gonna get into that, then let's
I would
just
cut that.
acknowledge how the phone call ended, Tim. And Casey, you can be a bystander. Tim,
I
this is
don't
how
even
the
know what you're
phone.
referring
This
to,
is
so
how
I'll
it went.
bystand.
They said bye twice, right? It was like one of those where they said bye and then they actually had like one other thing, right? And Casey goes, "Love you," and she goes, "All right, talk to you later." And then it happened again. And then it happened again. So that TikTok, I'm just saying, she's happy to say falling in love is the best thing ever, but she can't say it.
Love language.
Right. Love
So
language.
you think my girlfriend doesn't love me?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying she struggles to tell you she loves you on the phone in front of other people. That's my statement. That's my statement.
All right, I'm going to bring that up to her tomorrow.
Well, she'll be in denial, and then it'll feel forced. I'll be able to read if it was genuine or not.
A conversation that is just quite useless because then
I didn't say anything.
no, I just can't.
He can't even engage. Okay,
I can't. Yeah, I can't go. I can't.
Rivalry weekend. I want to start with. I think Tim. Where did Clemson Tau rank as best moments of your life.
No. Can we do best like moments of like? He talked about how the Matt Rule for him was such an important moment. Like in
Why can't he just answer the fucking question?
Well, because as producer, I think it's a bad question. I think it should be
That's not what a producer
in his
does.
professional life.
I'm literally on the stand, and there was an objection, and it was
objection.
Like,
yeah.
No
too
objection.
broad.
Not
Objection
a
too broad.
Yeah.
Because then you get the family involved,
Casey,
you get
shut
this
the fuck
involved. I think it should be in
this-
his professional career.
Shut
where this
the
ranks.
fuck up. That's not what I'm asking.
It's a better
my
question,
career and
but
my
okay.
life are quite similar.
They're intertwined.
Yeah, but then it's like
Casey,
when the first time
shut
I
up,
laid eyes on
call
Michaela.
your girlfriend, right?
Yeah,
But
I wouldn't say that though, because like that's not like true.
Right, that's not true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim, where does the Clemson towel rank in your life?
It is. So I'm torn because it was like getting like the team you love intertwined with the content. Like they know what's going on. Like a lot of people, that's as good as it gets. Like that's awesome. There's a couple things at play though that are because being on the sideline, going into it being on the sideline, you know that's not that can be an option.
Mm-hmm.
Like because of like the position we're in, and I know that some Clemson players follow me. Like it was one of those things that like I could picture it. I could picture something like that happening in my head. It would be way different if it was like a complete surprise. But like, I wouldn't be in that situation if having it be a surprise. You know,
you can't dream about things that you've never seen before.
You can't dream about things you've never seen. Is that true?
Yeah,
Why?
your mind in your dreams can't make up things that you've actually never seen while you are awake.
Really?
Like me having sex with Beyonce.
No. You can input other characters.
I've had that dream.
No. You would have had to have watched. You would have had to have at least seen the position of sex that you were doing with her, and then inserted Beyonce. That's it.
Or
what's your point? What's your point? Yeah, what?
No. It was an additive of like he's visualized. It was an alternative universe, but it's like when that guy is driving down your street and you make the shot, it's like that could be a D1 recruit.
What the actual fuck?
Wait, by the way, Jameis Winston, like you were saying the most.
No, that's not an experience I've only had myself. When you're like hooping in the driveway, you think whoever's watching could like potentially be like.
What is your point? What is your fucking?
I think
point?
what he's trying to
like he's visualized this like he knew that in some universe this is possible, so he was prepared for the moment.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Good
input, Casey. Thanks, team.
I never imagined Joe Sakic walking through my door and giving me a signed jersey, right? So that would be like, oh my goodness. But because
did that happen?
No.
Oh, I thought you were saying that happened. But the thing I don't understand, Casey was prefacing by saying the Matt Rule thing was such a big moment for you, but like you also visualized what that was going to look like to a degree as well.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
No, because that one, it was still a surprise if he was going to come down and be there. Right.
But it was also a surprise.
No, but you're saying
if Dabo had given you the towel, that's what would have been the moment.
Like
right?
I couldn't even.
No offense to
the fellas. Yeah. I couldn't have dreamt that in my I wouldn't even know what that would look like. What would he even say? Like, you know.
Right.
No. So and I only, not to put the kibosh on that. I have a moment where I snuck onto the Clemson sideline once, years and years and years ago. Have you heard that story?
No.
Yeah.
Jack's heard, I guess. Casey. So when in 2016, 2017, Clemson was playing at BC, and I was at prep school, so I went home for the game, and I had a media pass. Someone gave me a media pass, but it was for only before the game and before the game, halftime, after the game. So I'm in all my Clemson sideline gear, how I normally dress, the khakis, the exact quarter zip they're wearing, all that sort of stuff. So, you know, and that was like right when like the thing went viral about the guy who like pretended he was a coach at Duke during like March Madness. Like, remember that whole story? And he just like, okay. Because it was about sports and you weren't really into sports then probably. Yeah, this guy at Duke famously, like during the Final Four, like pretended he was a coach, and he didn't even get caught until like literally he was in the team photo or whatever. Like he took it so far. So that was like a thing. Like, can you dress up and just play the part? So anyway, during halftime, I did the like halftime go on the field, and then they cleared everyone out for half, and I just didn't get off the field. Because no one, if I just stand near the Clemson sideline, and I just took the media pass and put it in my pocket, no one's going to be like, you're not supposed to be here. Right. So long story short, Clemson wins the game. They blow BC out, all that. And I'm like, should I just keep this going? Should I keep this going? At one point, I'm standing on the sidelines, like commercial break in the fourth quarter. One of the refs comes running down the sideline. He's like, I got to piss quickly during the commercial. And he like stops at me and he's like, do you have your locker room key? Like your locker room card or whatever? And I was like, oh man, I forgot mine too. Like, damn it. And so I was just like, oh, so like if he believes me, I can continue to play this. So like after the game, everyone goes to midfield, shakes hands, all this. And like the BC guys were coming up to me and they're like, hey, rooting for you guys to win it all. Like, you know, like you guys are a juggernaut. Like Clemson was like 11-1 or whatever. Like you guys, like I hope pulling for you guys, all this. I was like, thank you. Appreciate it. And then we went to go do the alma mater in the corner, and same thing. Like, I'm like, do I go? Do I not? And then I just get like grabbed on the back by Jordan Leggett, one of the great Clemson tight ends. He just like grabs me, arm around for the alma mater. And I'm just like in the middle of the whole thing. And then I'm like, how do I get off the field now? Like when is the jig up? And so I'm like looking around, and like, I think there's like very few, the stadium's also empty. So if I just go up from the field and start running away, I'm like, is that more suspicious? So I'm like, do I just go through the locker room? I'm like, but I don't have someone here. Like, I didn't have, what am I going to film on my iPhone 4 at the time or whatever? So anyway, like as we were coming off the field, I got Deshaun to sign my hat. I was like, hey, Deshaun, someone was asking for an autograph, like pretended like, you know, what, like not like, hey, Deshaun. So I gave him my hat. He signed my hat, dapped me up. He like does the first, like his hands, like the quarterback, like just freaking, like I dapped him. His hand was like going down my forearm. It was so big. So then anyway, I actually went through the locker room, like towards there. And then it finally veered off, like locker room on the left, walk out on the right. And I was like, so I just left. And my mom was like, where are you? I was going home with my mom. She's like, where? I'm like, sorry, I'm in the locker room. So all to say, I felt like that was like a dream come true, in a story that like no one even believed me to tell. So I kind of got to like do it again, but it was almost like in terms of life, not career, being like, yeah, I actually did this like 8 years ago. And now like the guys on the team were giving me their towels and they were like, appreciate you, get that shit.
It's like a souped up moment, right? Instead of like the first time moment. Okay.
All right. So where does it rank? I think you started with I'm having a tough time, and then we didn't even come close to an answer.
It's probably 2 on the season. Matt Rule's probably still 1. Again, I also know how to like what we're doing. Like I was begging for it. I was standing right next to the bench, and the score has to be a little out of hand. Like Clemson was clearly going to win. And like, so again, all the perfect storming, because the BC one was the first time like feeling it out. And it's like, now I know how this works. I know where they're going next. I know how to,
so you can dream it.
Yeah, I know. Not really. We've just been on sidelines, and like, I know how to run into Raiola. I know how to run into Tyson.
I think that may be my new slogan.
But the picture is phenomenal of them, and just like the fact that they knew too. It was. Yeah, it was great.
You're great at your job.
The best part was actually when I said I need a towel, I thought I was just going to get a Gatorade towel, and the fact that they gave me the real shebang.
Yeah,
and that's now getting hung up. And that also when I came home, the girlfriend was like, because I got 4 of them, and she was like, oh, well, can we throw these ones out? Because you have 2 clean ones. And I was like, are we serious? What? She's like, we don't need 4 of these. I'm like,
is that like your dish towel now?
Yeah, 2 of them are going to be dish
like
towels.
Hanging on the dishwasher.
And it also gets added to the screwy video dress up. Great new.
Are they Nike or they're plain towels?
They're not
embroidered?
Nike, but they have the Velcro on them that goes around the belt.
Mm.
The fumble screwy was elite.
Oh my God, disaster class. Disaster class.
All right. So other things that went down in the Palmetto Bowl.
But last thing, my most proud part of it is actually the fact that I could like go on my own and like manufacture a story or whatever without anyone's like help. Like it really was all me.
Mhm.
The cold tub was really started by Casey.
By the way,
let's be clear.
This bet, correct, but I've also
you embellished and carried the full story. Correct, 100%.
I thought I commented this on the actual video, but I was like, I've obviously haven't watched many get readies with me, but like I'm like a half TikTok brain, half still have a little realism to me. It really is the perfect setting to just like tell a story and then get slightly distracted at the same time as the progression of the face is changing. Like I finally get why get ready with me's are good content. Like I sat there, didn't have to 2x you, wasn't thinking about anything else. I was just locked into story time and I knew the story. So I came to a good realization on get ready with me's on that piece of content.
I'm surprised you haven't got there yet on understanding why they're so popular.
Yeah, I guess I never stayed long enough for like watching the transition of the face is actually interesting.
Got you.
And I usually don't give a fuck about what these girls are talking about.
It's also get ready with me is like putting on the outfit. Like there's that as
too.
well.
That
like
too,
maybe
yeah.
Instead of like game day fit, it's like get ready with me.
No, it's actually
the
the
Big
best
12
setting to
championship.
be able to tell a bit of an elongated story. And you have to be a good storyteller, which you obviously did a really good job of. But yeah, I was like, wow, I get it now. I truly get it.
No, well, the way I understood them is, have you ever been in either TikTok or Reels, brain rot, and there's the ultimate brain rot video. The ultimate brain rot video is when someone's like telling a story on a TikTok or a Reel and it's split screen and the bottom is like playing a video
Subway
game.
Surfer?
Yeah. Like,
no, that's peak brain rot.
That is the peak. And so I
think somebody did that when they were playing, like a YouTuber did when they would put in an ad placement, that they would 3/4 screen the ad and 1/4 would be Subway Surfer as a way to like keep retention through their ad.
It's so sad. So sad. But that is pretty much what Get Ready With Me is.
Yeah.
It's Subway. It's a version of Subway.
Right. But you're not cheating it as much.
And I've always tried to figure out what the guy version of that is. I mean, Bob does sports. It's like eating. Like he'll be like eating his salad or his chipper.
While telling a story.
Telling a story. But I also think that's difficult, eating and talking. Like, in general. Not even before you get to how talented he is. And then, so I've always tried to figure out what the guy one is. I've tried to do like, as I make a drink.
Yep.
Like something like that.
But I think it's just get ready with me, old fat. You just got to touch yourself up.
I think, and also the funniest part for me was mentally, as you were finishing up, I was like, wow, like through the screen, he actually like did a really good job. And then seconds after I thought that, you were like, wow, I kind of fucking crushed that. And I was like, that was funny.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason it works. I wish I could unlock what the guy version is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like even people tell stories while cooking a meal. Like, I don't think it's an unlock. I think it's just like do something that has a start and a finish.
Like a haircut.
Telling a story.
Then you like, because like I love old fashions, and I've always been like, should I just do it as I make? Because that's like more steps than just screwdriver,
Right,
like
and
orange juice,
yeah,
fucking
and,
whatever.
like,
So like I'm doing the bitters, I'm slicing the orange,
yeah, I
whatever.
think that could be a good one.
But also like it's like getting into golf or IPA talk. You make a bad old fashioned is
Right,
like
and they
another
wanna let you
avenue.
know.
I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah,
not trying to go down. Like
definitely.
and so the makeup thing's like I'm not deep enough in the girl lore, but I don't know how many people are like, that is the worst makeup job I've ever seen. Like, does that really
It's kind of
happen?
art. It's kind of
Yeah.
art that they can always argue for.
Right. So again, what is the guy?
I think old fashioned's probably the answer, and then like people are going to tell you that you're doing it wrong, and like
Yeah, it's more engagement. Correct. Yeah, but it's just at that point, maybe I can stomach it now. It's always been on my mind. Actually, if you remember last year during the college football playoff, during the semifinal games, I couldn't figure out a way to talk about the games, and I really wanted to. And I did like screwy talk, and I talked about the game as I made a screwdriver, and they actually performed way better than I thought. So yeah, maybe I'll give that another shot.
Yeah, more excuses for this guy to make a drink.
I didn't even think about it. Also, what do you think other than like you clearly just have a very good tapped NHL audience and they respond anytime you feed them that, but I feel like your couch post-game pressers like did better than maybe it's just like relatable of like if you're just like lounging on your couch casually and I'm literally watching you as I'm doing the exact same thing, something resonates through there.
It is no, I've always, because, and I did this in a manner, I did this strategically, always tried to make my content first about my personality before I made it about sports, because then you earn like what we do with our friends. When someone says, who do you think Texas should be in the playoff, to their friends, then they'll go, well, you're not Joel Klatt. I don't believe you. No, you ask because they're your friend and you want to like break balls with them. So I've always been like, how do I earn that? Like, I'm just your buddy talking. Because if I try and pretend I'm Joel Klatt or an analyst, that's just, you're never going to.
You don't need credibility.
You're not going to get, and I'm not trying to be.
Right.
But I always struggled with, how do I talk about sports without doing that's when I was like, do I have to be making something? Do I have to be a get ready with me style? All to say, I finally kind of broke out of that at one point, and I think it was almost like because of time. Like our job is too time consuming for me to be like, if I want to talk about the NHL or NASCAR, I'm just going to turn it on and talk. So like, I think that was part of the NHL thing, was like, I was just like, fuck it, I want to talk about it. So take it or leave it. And I'm on the couch.
Yeah. And in the name of credibility, I mean, I just saw this and thought it was pretty insane, but like, it's an overall positive for the landscape that we want to be in. But full team guy, like Texas Tech coach giving him the full shout that he should be the college football commissioner was pretty insane.
Oh, Pate?
Full team guy.
Okay. Yeah.
He was at the Iron Ball with his whole
full team. Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
The other thing though, too, about
I also want to say, I look, Josh Pate, big fan, friend of the program. I think he left the Iron Bowl early. I'm just saying, I think, look, he's tough to miss because he's fucking yoked. He's got a beautiful bald head. And I saw him at the corner, and then there were like 3 minutes left, and Auburn's driving to try and tie the game. And then I look over, and he definitely was not there. Would it shock me if he left the Iron Bowl early? Not in the slightest. Just saying.
Last
Did
thing.
We just start drama on this show?
Yeah, I mean,
the commissioner probably had to get back for good reason, but I don't think he was there.
The final thing on the Clemson thing that I just thought about, it also got me like finally in Clemson football Twitter. Like I got a lot of new Clemson followers. And the reason I hadn't was up until I started working here now in year 2, I rarely talked about Clemson online because I was superstitious and always had my phone down the entire game. And then 2, I hated college football arguments. Oh, no way.
See, that's a better
up,
guess
fellas?
than Icy Vert. What up, Pete?
How are you guys?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm good. This is my first podcast experience. I'm excited.
There's no better podcast to do. I texted you. I told you.
I'm sitting with Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah.
You know, at some point I should just change that. If we're gonna
just
the
keep
tradition.
It's
good
lore.
tradition.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like this little system. I've never seen it before. All the pictures are nice and clear.
Yeah, Riverside, brother. It's the best tech out there.
Records locally.
Nice. I like that.
This is how you should run your talks with the people
100%.
when you're breaking it down, because you can share a screen also.
Oh, shit. Hang on. One light's out. There we go.
There it is.
God.
All right. Well, I told you how this podcast goes. We just be talking about shit. So whenever you want to leave, however long you want to stay for, feel free. That is up to you.
Sounds good. Let me get my ring light on real quick.
He wants to be well.
Pros pro.
Tim, what'd you think? Good surprise guest. Although Casey didn't even warn you we were doing a guest.
I tremendous surprise guest. I like everything about him until he pulled out the clicker for the lights. Very college. You only got a couple more weeks of that.
No, well, I bought these two little like pucks for it, and I didn't realize that they like wouldn't just stay on. I realized I had to charge them, and I was like, well, that sucks. But now I gotta click them on every time. But the little like blue one, that one stays in, so we're good there.
Okay.
But
so you can see Tim's backdrop, but walk me through your backdrop.
All right, so we got a Bo Jackson helmet. You can obviously expect that's Auburn, since I go to Auburn. Then we got Saints. That's Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas, two favorite players of all time, most likely. Yep. We got Kurt Warner. That's because I'm from St. Louis. Jerry Rice, because he's the GOAT. And he follows, so that's awesome. But then we got Ray Lewis. That is one of my favorite players of all time. I was number 52 because of him.
And you played O-line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Occasionally I mixed in or dipped into linebacker a little bit, but
we could have used him on our tush push, honestly.
Yeah,
we definitely could.
Yeah.
Damn, I appreciate that.
Well, you trust me,
the bar's not very high.
It ain't very high.
So we got Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram, boom and zoom back in the day, back in like 2018. Great combo. DeMarco Murray, loved him growing up, and then Brock Purdy. Love Brock Purdy. So just basically all my guys. And then all my jerseys.
You like Brock? Wow. Okay.
Big Brock guy. I think he's smart. He processes quick. He could use a little more arm strength, but I feel like that could come with a little more time, maybe some strength training, maybe get some bands involved.
I feel like he's missed his window to strengthen that. He's torn his UCL. Actually, you're supposed to come back stronger from that. So
because of the surgery?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
No, there's a thing in the MLB, like you want to tear it early. So like I'm dead serious. It's
I've heard that. It's just a funny idea. It's like, blow up your arm so we can medically make it stronger so that you're even better.
Do you prefer Pete or Peter?
I go, well, in the football world, my entire life, like I started in second grade. So my mom would just like introduce me to all the coaches as Pete. So it kind of just evolved into Pete in football and then Peter everywhere else. So
all right, we'll stick with Pete then.
With Pete. I like Pete.
All right, are we football or are we everywhere else?
We're football.
No, you're football.
Okay.
We're football 100%. For sure.
All right, Pete, we were at the game. You watched at home. Yeah. What did you get? Did you feel that it was a raucous environment in Jordan? How do you pronounce it? We pronounced it wrong.
It's okay. Everyone normal calls it Jordan hair because that's what it looks like. All of like the stupid Auburn fans, they'll be like, "It's Jordan hair," and I'm like, "Dude, shut up."
All right,
but
we were in Jordan hair. Did it look from the TV? Did it look like a raucous environment?
It looked like the standard Auburn game. Like it's a little extra because it's Iron Bowl, but like it's always a really good environment. Like I commented it on Jack's post. I was like, if our performance was proportional to the environment, we'd never lose because the environment's insane. But obviously the performance is not proportional.
No.
Well,
I thought it looked good.
Is it the performance that's so poor, or is it the coaching? And just the overall. Let me tell you this. This was my takeaway. I said it's definitely a bucket list experience going to the Iron Bowl, just because the grandeur of the game, the traditions, the crowd, the atmosphere. And I think like no matter what, that game's going to mean something to someone, most likely, right? Like Auburn, they didn't care about being bowl eligible. They just wanted to knock Bama out. Obviously, Bama needed to win. I feel like a boomer when I say this take, but I don't know. If your star player's wearing 2 G-Shock watches, and then it's like we're always getting screwed by the refs and we're a little sloppy here and there, I'm like, it's not just coaching to me. It feels like it's a whole culture thing at Auburn.
No question.
And it's just like there's a problem there. And I don't think the coach solves it by coming in unless he can really override. Like I'm talking, I think the donors are a problem.
By the way, I
the
think
fans are a problem.
That's an aggressive boomer take from you. I mean, guys wearing
I couldn't agree more.
Guys wearing excessive jewelry, I feel like we're way past that battle.
2 watches, it's just ridiculous. It's silly.
You can't wear 2 watches and literally fumble the game away. That's not how it works. You've got to be that guy.
Pete, tell me if I'm wrong. Part of why Auburn and Jared and Ayer is a house of horrors is because Auburn spent so much time trying to be the antithesis of Nick Saban and Alabama. And it got to the point where, again, coaches were hired and stayed because they beat Alabama. Hugh Freeze. And like a guy like Gus, like he lost to he beat Alabama, and then he lost to them one too many times. And that's where you kind of get the watches, and like it is chaos from top to bottom, and they have yet to. I mean, the whole Brian Harsin thing. They set up a whole coup to get Brian Harsin fired. Like it is, there is. I mean, I love it. It's like everything that's so beautiful about like toxic college football, but Auburn is like top 3 on the list of being their own problem.
That's what I'm saying. Casey thinks it's a boomer take. I think there's a real thing going on there.
Well, I'll tell you firsthand experience. Being a student here, you can feel it. Like I go to my fraternity 2 days after a game, and they're still talking about how we got screwed by the refs while we literally got beat, or we literally gave up 10 sacks. We gave up 10 sacks, committed numerous turnovers, and they're complaining about the refs. Yeah. You beat yourselves if you do that. That's not an excuse to then go blame the refs. It's one thing if it's like a 2018 no-call PI for the Saints against the Rams. That's one thing. But, like, you can't complain about that every game, and then every game blame the refs, blame the O-line. It's just a constant blame shifting from the fans, and especially lately, I saw it with Hugh Freeze. He was constantly doing that. He would blame players. He would be like, that player ran the wrong route. It's like, I don't care. You're the coach. You don't tell everybody that. You handle it internally. You do what you need to do to fix that, and then you move forward with the proper adjustments rather than literally publicly blame somebody for it. It's a constant blame shifting culture. I don't know if it comes from the donors. I don't know where it stems from, but it's been like that my entire time here.
Yeah.
Casey, Shadur Sanders used to walk out and do pregame warm-ups with a 6-figure watch, and it was literally his celebration. He wrote a rap song about it. But then when the game started, he took the watch off and just played football. And like, he wasn't vlogging the game. Like, there were video people following him around. Like, I know it seems silly to act like there's so much nuance to it, but like,
Coleman vlogs the game.
No.
Okay,
I'm just saying, like, all the things you could adapt.
Okay. But if Coleman breaks a tackle instead of fumbles and scores, we're not having this conversation.
100%, but he did. So
right.
You do have
so
the
you
conversation.
just you're playing hindsight.
Even the kids who weren't in uniform, like because they were injured, they came out on a scooter, dressed and dripped out in chains and Gucci,
college
and
football and NIL.
No, and the jersey is tucked into their thing. I'm just saying, that wouldn't fly at Alabama. It wouldn't fly at any serious program. We saw Texas Tech. It's not like Texas Tech kids don't have money now. And the kid literally in his backpack has a iced out fucking AP watch, but like it's in the backpack, and it's not like. I just think it's good to separate the two.
They're not running a tight ship over there.
Correct.
I don't think
Correct.
really anywhere is running that tight of a ship anymore.
No,
but
I
just
disagree.
appear to run a tight ship.
Exactly.
Just pretend you run a tight ship. I mean,
Right.
right? You saw it with, part of what got Hugh Freeze fired, the guy couldn't stop golfing. It just like you're allowed to golf. It just presents as extremely unserious when you always are golfing on Sunday morning and your team is horrific.
When you literally got blown out the
Right.
day before, you then go and golf.
Like-
and people are not even sometimes just golf. Sometimes you just go stand there and watch people golf.
Like-
That's important, dude. In mid-season, that's important.
Yeah, again, appear. Like I would be, even if whatever I loved, I'd be like, you know what? Maybe just cancel the tea time this Sunday. Like they just invite.
Or make it, or play at a private club. It's almost like it's the same thing. I mean, we talk about Marlon with the Ravens and podcasting. It's like, did that affect what happened on the field? Right. I think what is so fucked about the Cam Coleman situation is like, I don't know, maybe he does hold on to the ball if he doesn't have fucking watches on. But should Marlon stop podcasting? Does it affect his play on the field? No. But I do think there is obviously like time and place and also expectation that like if everything isn't straightened out around the game, if you're not playing well on top of it, like you're opening yourself up for criticism. And it just, everyone at Auburn, it just feels like it's a fucking disaster.
Yeah, look, I was so envious of you guys. That place looked awesome. Auburn's always been on my list. That place looked like it absolutely rocks.
Pete,
honestly,
everyone told me that that like that environment would be like that for anything. My takeaway was like, I actually feel like I would only want to go to Iron Bowl. Like I could see it being still a good, really good crowd for SEC play, but I don't know if like a 3 o'clock against Vandy, I would be too hyped.
No, it's got to be night. It's got to be night. Any night game will be like that. That's the thing. Like if it's Texas A&M, if it's Georgia, it'll be like that for any night game. But Iron Bowl's a little extra special, obviously. But I mean, the environment's just always, it's equal. It's just always the same. It's always electric. It's always overly crowded. Like it's always sold out. Like the difficulty to get student tickets is always ridiculous. You can never get them. And they make it that way. Like if you don't go to a game, you're not getting tickets the next year. Like if you have the ticket and you don't show up and scan it in, you're not going the next year. So they do a good job of incentivizing people to show up and really root the team. Like for block seating, you have like the students, like fraternities and stuff can get blocks. And if they aren't there 45 minutes before the game and when they do like the fight song after the game, they get demoted then in blocks. So like the program does a great job with like attendance, incentivizing that. So that's kind of why the environment's always that good. But
that's a good
point. Amazing.
No, that's a good point. I didn't even realize because I saw them do the fight song, and I think they have 2 songs after the game. I could be something like that. But yeah, now that I think about it, all those kids are still in the seat. I thought it was just because it was like end of the season and it was a close game to Alabama, but it seems like that's
no, it was that way against Mercer. It'd be that way against Alabama A&M.
They sell booze in there?
Yeah.
They started.
Yeah.
They started.
They're one of the new
last
ones.
year.
Yeah. I inside, and that's kind of the feeling I got. Again, it's hard for us to judge it. Similarly, Jack thinking it was Iron Bowl and me thinking it wasn't Iron Bowl. We have no clue because it's the only thing we've seen. But that's kind of the vibe I got is for any big night game, that place would be pretty insane to go to.
I believe that, to be clear. I'm just saying, if 3 o'clock versus Vandy, I'm skeptical. But every team is going to have a drop-off, obviously, from the big night games.
Yeah, my big problem, and again, I thought we did our due diligence. Like we made multiple laps around the stadium. I did not think that the pregame was anything to get excited about at Auburn. I think almost every single other SEC game we've been to had a more rowdy and better tailgating scene. And I'm curious, I don't know if because it's Thanksgiving weekend, it affects things, but I feel like you're past Thanksgiving and it's a regular Saturday night. Like everyone who's going to be there is going to be there. But I thought it was one of the worst tailgate environments I've ever seen.
I haven't been to another real tailgate environment, so I couldn't really compare. I'm not like a tailgater. I don't even really go to our tailgates, but it's okay. It's not great.
Is it normally pregame at the frat kind of place?
Yeah, that's what like the fraternities and the sororities do.
Okay.
Like most of the sororities will end up going to a frat. The frats host it because
Yeah.
the sororities don't have houses here, so they like can't
Oh.
host anything.
Got it.
But then outside of that, there's like a lot of organizations and stuff. Auburn's like weird like that. There's a ton of like little groups and stuff that get tents, and everybody just goes and hangs out at the tents. So
that's actually why the pregame felt lacking. So Tim, they start at the frats and then they go to tents, but each fraternity doesn't have a tent. It's just like if your parents have a tent or like a local company has a tent. So like your frat gets split all over tents, and then it becomes kind of like an adult tailgate, which is, Casey's just anti anything, that we're not raving.
No, I've officially stamped myself as a massive SEC pregame hater. Their experiences inside the stadium live up to it. Like Tennessee, one of our favorite, Alabama, one of our favorite, Auburn one of my favorite. But I think I thought the Ole Miss tailgate was pretty underwhelming. I thought the Auburn one was very underwhelming. Honestly, my favorite one that I thought was still pretty rowdy and fun was Bama when we went together. That's the only one that I've felt has risen above to like be more fun rather than just hold a beer and chit chat. Like I just hate that. I know that's you, but I hate that.
Yeah, I mean, so what are you looking for? Like shotgunning a Four Loko and a frat?
You know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for
that is what
exactly what happened at Coastal Carolina and Nebraska.
Yeah.
What happened at Coastal Carolina and Nebraska?
They just have fucking people who are hammered with speakers blaring and everyone in one mosh pit together.
That sounds like hell.
Yeah, because in like again, it's SEC culture. It's khakis, polo, hold the beer, and you're watching the early slate at the buddy you know's dad's tailgate who's been coming every year for 50 years.
And I respect that to a degree, but I also love the tailgates where it's like, this is why I love Dakota and Montana also, is it's like, to them, that was the only game that happened that day. And similarly at Ohio State, like, I don't care what is going on around the college football world. I'll catch up on my phone, but we could be the only game going on in the entire country is all that they know. Because I actually prefer that.
You don't understand. It just means more.
It's just awfully rich coming from a guy who like is zero fun. So the fact that you want like a rave is like really like perplexing.
Oh, I'm fun. Just not on the job. Just not on the job.
Well, we had 2 beers with Pete.
Yeah, I had a beer with Pete.
Yeah.
That was probably pretty fun.
That was fun.
That was a great chat. Pete, we had a little discussion about you today at work, about your future.
I'd love to be talked about.
Good. Well, you were. And I told you that whenever you're ready, we have a spot for you. But
I appreciate it.
I was telling Tim how like you're not a clip farmer. Like you don't just go to the biggest story. Like you like to, and Tim was saying how he respects that. Actually, Tim, why don't you tell him? Because I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you respect that. But there was a but.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, from what I heard, Pete, I mean, I know your content. I like your content. You do a good job. You're hilarious. You can tell it's the most important thing in the world to you when you're watching a guard pull or a trap play, And so I was like, oh my God, this guy's like literally a gold mine. And Jack was like, well, there was one thing. It was funny. He's like, maybe you'll respect this, Tim. I was like, why didn't you make a video on Shedeur Sanders? And Pete was like, I just like do not care for that. Like, I'm not like, I couldn't care less what Shedeur Sanders does. I don't care about like, he should be starting, whatever. Like, I'm getting off on like Bill's O-line play. And I said, I respect the stubbornness. Like, I'm stubborn. I'm There's certain things I'm like, I will never, ever, ever make a video about that. I could not care less. However, how the hell can you just not like just make the tell me why, like make the video and in real time be like, this is why I can't make this video. I'm disgusted.
I don't know. It's not really like anything that's reasonable. It's just
Right.
kind of like
fair.
It's just kind of like I hate the guy. Like I hate the fact that Travis Hunter won Heisman over Ashton Genty. And who was throwing him the ball? Shador Sanders. I hate the fact that he throws up his watch and a bunch of dudes like that. I think that's corny. I don't think it matters to football. I think your focus should be playing the sport, not having a bunch of fans that love you and throw up a watch because you made a good throw. I don't think that's interesting. I don't think that's cool. I don't think that matters to the sport. And frankly, I think that's pretty evident in how he's been performing thus far.
Okay, that's fine. I don't want a watch take from you. I want, if you care about ball, why can't you put on the Browns film and say, for all the watches and all of this and the Travis Hunter, here's what's going on the field. Let me show you what he's doing. And like, this is how they're making his life easier, or this is how they're making his life. They're holding his hand and he still can't do it. Like, in other words, I'm more like you than you probably think. But Casey is pretty much my content puppeteer, and he will be like, well, like, can you make a video about whatever? And I'll be like, well, I hate that. And he'd be like, well, there's your video. Tell me why you hate it.
There's multiple reasons. One is I tend to try and stick away from negativity videos, and I know if I did one on Shador, that would exclusively be negative and probably a little erratically negative, which is not great when I have the audience that I have that trusts like a truly unbiased take.
That's fair.
Secondly, I don't feel like dealing with the stuff that comes with a Shador Sanders video, a bunch of people commenting, oh, you're being racist because you don't like Shador. I'm like, dude, I just don't like the way he plays football. My favorite player is Ashton Genty. That's not racist. Like, shut up. And
I have a favorite black player.
Don't like dealing with all the bullshit that comes with it too. And he has like a cult following. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna push that.
That's a way stronger answer. I'm glad I asked a follow-up. Very strong.
All right, and then let me say two things. One, I think it's important for Pete to know Tim is by far your closest comparison in terms of how he thinks. Like, he would 100% not want to do anything. You wouldn't even talk about Lane Kiffin yesterday because you were like, I don't want to get into those muddied waters, even though you have takes for days. I think the other part of it is Tim is like, we don't care. I mean, we don't have to care because we don't deal with the comments and the DMs and the hate. But Tim was more like, I actually want to know how Shador's playing, and no one's fucking talking about it because they're only talking about the watch and they're only talking about, like, we're actually genuinely curious from a ball knower, like what's been going on there. But I get I think we all do know what's really going on is not much good, right? And so that's what the video would end up being.
And it's like, I don't want to bark up that tree. I get that, but what if you could go on McAfee tomorrow, and he was like, but your ticket onto the show is a breakdown on Shador Sanders?
I mean, like, I'd probably do it then because there's obviously incentive, but the reason, like, the true, like reason I don't want to is because he's just another fifth rounder in my eyes. He's not somebody that is this talented. Before the draft, I had him as a third round talent. Like, I did not think he was that good coming out of college. I didn't like the way he dropped back. Like, literally, I would see reps. He dropped back and his hips were perpendicular with the sideline. I'm like, that's horrible. Like, that's not NFL ready. So things like that, I just viewed him as just a standard quarterback. Like, I'm not going to go make a breakdown on, like, Kyle Trask. Like, it's just that kind of thing in my eyes. I just view him not that good. So there's no reason for me to really review him. I understand there might be a demand for it. But that's not.
I don't think
that's not ever why I make my content.
Right. I don't think anyone's debating that. Like, I think that one makes sense. It's more the idea of no one intelligent is giving us a take or analysis on this. It's just first take being like Shedeur threw that screen and then who said it? Perkins. He's the most influential black man since Obama. It's like, can someone who's smart tell me what's going on in Cleveland? Like, is it Stefanski? Is it Shedeur? Is it a disaster? Like, I think that was more.
The other one I was told is the Dolphin, Mike McDaniel. You don't like that offense.
I hate that guy.
Okay.
Oh my God. It is so gimmicky. It's just such a bullshit offense.
Yeah. So then why can't we get that video?
Because I'm a little afraid, to be honest, of like, if I make a video completely shitting on Mike McDaniel, I have 400 NFL guys following me. I'm not sure what they're going to think of that. I'm not sure if they're going to think, man, this kid, he thinks he knows it all. He's shitting on Mike McDaniel, a dude who's been in the league, who's been around the league, who knows a lot more than this kid. And he does know a lot more than me, but I don't like his offense. I don't like the style, but I'm a little nervous to go in and like really talk about it in depth, because I'm like, I don't know what all these dudes are going to think. Now, it's another thing, like when I find a...
Yeah, I find that to be super valid. It's honestly refreshing. Like, your reasons for not doing things are like 100 times better than Tim's reasons ever are for not doing something. So like, I respect it a lot.
Casey.
No, but it is a good point.
That's
a very good point.
Pete, I'm on your side, but just block your ears. Casey, if you said, make me a Mike McDaniel video and explain to me why you don't like his offense, Pete would go, well, I do have a lot of people that follow me, and I'm kind of afraid to go down that route and have people say, you don't know what you're talking about, whatever this. And obviously he's been in the league a long time. You would say, shut the fuck up, you pussy. Make the video. I don't give a fuck.
Well, you don't have as many people following. You don't have as many people following.
The best thing that could happen to us is the OC for the fucking Saints comments, you moron, you don't know what you're talking about. He goes, that would be the best thing to happen to us. That's exactly what you would fucking say.
You may be right. I may appreciate it because, like, I'm not his boss right now, and I don't have to worry about what he puts out. So, you could be right, but I think that's a very valid reason. My only thing, though, is when we talked about what your North Star is, at some point, you are going to have to actually believe in yourself to be a high-level thinker, which I think you already have been paid off due to the Puka screen. You're like, okay, I actually can kind of do this. But at some point, you're going to need to make that flip where it's like, yeah, I may not know everything, but at least I know enough to be in the room, I would say.
No question, but at this point, I'm still 20 years old. Right. I have plenty to learn. I have a lot of time to be able to get to that level. At this point, I don't think I wouldn't like seeing me, some kid I haven't really met, some kid that, yeah, he knows a lot about football and football schematics, but he's never been in an advanced system. He's never done anything like that. I'm not sure how much I'd want to see me shitting on my team's head coach. I'd be like, dude, what do you know?
Yeah.
So eventually I'll probably get to that point.
I also think,
I'm more building the credibility still.
Yeah. Right. No, that's super fair. I also think what you said is like a great disclaimer, which is, in a perfect world with every perfect player at every position who's a high level thinker, this actually is unbeatable, but it's an unrealistic world that we're living in. And despite him potentially building the greatest offense of all time, it doesn't work in real life. It only works in La La Land.
Or tell me where I'm wrong. I haven't been in the league for 20 years. I look at this as a lot of window dressing. And I see this as, as long as you play, quarters against them, I feel like it really handcuffs them. Where am I wrong? I don't know why I don't know why I'm obsessed with you, Pete. Like, I don't know. It's the idea
because he's the best.
It's the idea that you are stubborn and say, I won't do this, I won't do that. And it's a fully solid reason. And I've been brainwashed since I've been here to put all those things away.
That's not true. I don't want that because, like I said, I want Pete to join us one day. So I don't want him thinking that all we do is we bring in these fresh young kids and absolutely ruin them. We've also helped you. No. we've also helped you see less like that it's not always the doomsday scenario. And another thing, I actually disagree. We've said there were times where it actually made sense to not talk about things, right? Like even last episode of Chop, we were like, should we talk about the North Dakota State like athletic director or not? Like we've definitely kiboshed a bunch of stuff that we were like, yeah, it's for the best. Like we don't because at its core, like one of the things, Pete, that we actually do believe in is we aren't like I don't want to be in online tiffs with people. Like we were joking about Josh Pate before the show, and Casey's like, is that actually, you know what? Here's my point. Casey, what did I tell you when we started the show? What was the one rule?
No drama.
So there you go. So the only thing we've told Tim is if you can say whatever you want, and I feel comfortable telling him to say things if he believes it. If he believes it in his heart of heart. And I think the thing about McDaniel is you're like, I believe it, but I also and maybe don't have all the information here. And so for that reason, I'm not going to fully talk on it, right? Which I think is fair.
Yeah, and to add on to that, it is something where like I don't know everything that's going on. I don't know what's going on in the locker room. I don't know that kind of stuff. But it's also the kind of thing where I even though I disagree with how he runs the offense, I respect what he's done. I respect that he's built at some times really high-powered offenses. And I don't really want to go on there and speak to 400,000 people, 500,000 people, depending on the video, about somebody that's just like that I don't know truly about. And that, frankly, people trust my opinion on that kind of stuff. And I don't want to get a bunch of people just hating on this guy because I don't like him.
Yeah. And you know what? It's not even your fault. It's just the current landscape of media. And I think like into social media politics has done a lot of it, and it's rubbed off on sports, is like you can't have a back and forth that may be educated and it be okay to be on opposite sides without it being you're a fucking idiot, I disagree with you, and you're a fucking idiot, I disagree with you. It's impossible to have an opinion and still like respect the person, have common ground, still have respect for what they've done. Like that's
social media. Once Pete leaves, we're about to go on a college football playoff fucking debate, and there's gonna be zero respect and zero appreciation for
but we
whatever.
understand that individually is a very toxic that's a very toxic conversation.
What, Pete, what's the dream?
I don't know 100%. I was telling Jack and Marlon that it's kind of up in the air. Who knows? Maybe I do great in social media, 45, 50. When I'm at that age, I'm not really looking to like do social media my whole life. I started this thing and maybe I'd get to 50,000 followers, like talk ball with people. Never really cared about being famous. Still really don't. So I'd love to do something where like I'm like a consultant to players. Like I'm 50. I have like 8 players, not too much work, but like the kind of stuff I love. And I like sit down each week, review game tape, review their opponents, reviewing films, kind of what I do for Quincy Riley with the Saints, that kind of stuff. But for like the higher level players, like Quentin Nelson or something, like identifying blitzes, or like Joe Burrow, identifying like certain trends on third down. Maybe they bring a nickel blitz when you come out in a bunch right look, like something like that.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, it's almost when you've got someone who's got it relatively figured out, it's like, fuck, you got to look in the mirror. And that's what I did after having this conversation.
No, I don't want to look in the mirror. I fucking hate you more than ever. I like Pete, and I don't like how Pete gets to have his cake and eat it too. And it sounds like he has a great fucking life, and he's
and I really eat my cake, dude. If you guys couldn't tell.
And it sounds like things go well for him. And yeah, I'm envious. I can't stand it.
It's actually funny.
To spit on myself a little bit. I get no bitches, bro. So like there is a level where you could beat me in something. Don't worry.
God, Pete.
This guy hasn't had sex in months.
Yeah, Pete, also, by the way you talk about guard play, I knew you didn't get laid. Okay.
Pete,
I'm more of a having a fun time kind of guy. I don't really hang out with the females.
Yeah,
you know?
By the way, that is peak snapback. We are all for that. Like we don't need to be Barstool. And just so you know, the most viral clip from this show is about how small Tim's dick is. So there's nothing.
And the irony of it all is right before you joined, we finished a conversation about where this weekend ranked in moments that were the best in his life.
And it was about going to a football game.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then and Casey was like, "Oh, say career, not life," because like obviously it'd be like meeting his girlfriend or whatever. And I was like, "What? Like Matt Rule and the Clemson Tigers."
Best moment of my life was watching Quincy Riley crash on a quick screen on the red zone. That was probably the best moment of my life. Other best moment, watching Ashton Genty break it for 64 yards against Washington State. Best run I've ever seen.
Are you worried that people think that you're just like trying to be John Gruden?
Dude, I hate that shit so much.
I bet. I bet.
I started it. So like when I had like 30K, I kind of played into it. Like I embellished the voice a little bit, but like when I hit like 100K, I stopped with it. And like, I don't try to do the voice at all. Nobody thinks I don't try to do the voice. Everyone thinks I'm like still playing into it. I'm like, dude, I'm the film watcher. I'm not John Gruden. Stop.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, baby Gruden. I'm like, dude, shut up.
To make you feel a little better, when I first started getting traction online, people would say, "Guy thinks he's Bob Does Sports," and it was just like, "Oh, because I'm a guy who talks into my camera." And so a girl who puts
Tim, you get Gruden and McAfee from time to time.
Yeah,
on the YouTube.
By the way, there's worse people to be compared to.
And then
for both of you.
Like, oh, so a guy that gets excited about watching film is John Gruden. Doesn't that say a lot? Again, if we're doing the whole like the way that social media and the like that, I think that is the most
right. There's only room for one person in the world to watch film and enjoy it.
Yeah, no,
it's like course. we're both just like born and raised Midwestern guys, so we have similar voices, and then we just get excited watching football. Like that's the only two similarities.
The worst is we need more people to talk ball. Like, I can't stand first take. People need to talk ball. You talk ball. What is this guy, fucking John Gruden? Okay.
Miserable people will find a way to be miserable no matter what. To be fair, though,
everyone said there was a space in the market for ball watching, and he literally started watching ball and has exploded. So
yeah, the people are responding. Yeah, that's a fact.
People are following. People are responding.
We glazed him a lot. I was just trying to get into his head a little bit. Like, I'm sure that like is a thing.
You got him to admit he gets no bitches, and now you're bringing up the Gruden.
Well, the DMs are the worst. I was telling them, but like I get one today. It goes, let the whole video play first before you start freezing it to make commentary. Shit is so annoying. I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. But I rarely respond to these type, but I was just in a mood this morning. So I go, how about you go find someone else to watch, dumbass? Because clearly 500K people disagree with you, along with ESPN, Bleacher Report, and others. So feel free to shut the fuck up. Dude, I was pissed.
And did he respond?
Not yet.
What a fucking message.
So good. Well,
that's such a good way to attack it.
Well, the thing is, again, and also it's like, hey, pal, how about you put away the red zone for a sec and watch the whole fucking game? Because this is the first time you've seen this play because you watch fucking football on TikTok.
Exactly. And it's just like, dude, literally go find someone else to watch. If you don't like what I'm doing, go watch the play by itself. Yeah. It's on YouTube.
You can do it, man.
Do what you want to do with it. I don't care.
Yeah. NFL Plus, it's like $9 a month. Just go for it, man.
Yeah.
There you go, Pete. He's plugging it for you already.
I know. That's got to happen soon. Come on, man.
Pete, I'm on your side.
Thank you.
All right, Pete. So is there anything else that you want to share? I mean, the fact that we're taking your podcast cherry, we're excited about. This will be the beauty about the internet and YouTube is like, this will be out there for the rest of the time. And 10 years from now, we'll be able to come back and be like, in Pete's first ever podcast, he was just talking about how he got no bitches and he fucking loves Ashton Genty 64-yard run against Washington.
I think I might put that on like a Bleacher Report style quote card. Don't worry,
What?
I get no bitches. Swipe to the reel.
That's a good one. That'll be a good one.
Okay. Since this is my first podcast and I've wanted to share this story forever.
Yeah.
I'll share the story. I kind of told you guys at the end of our first meet how I broke my hand and then learned how to snap left-handed for the playoffs. So I get jumped Halloween night, right? Like I'm at some party, I'm fucked up, I'm hammered, I'm high, and like these random dudes show up, and I see my buddy gets pushed by one of them. So I'm like not in the right state. I go up and I'm swinging, dude. I just start swinging. I get just blindsided on the left side, dude. I'm down for the count. I'm getting like kicked 30 times. It was not good. And I was like, fuck, I'm covering my head. But anyway, it finally stopped. I get up and I'm like, not knowing where I am. I swing and just like crack some guy. Get jumped a second time, but I broke my right ring finger. It's like kind of crooked. I don't know if you can see it, but like it's kind of crooked still. So we had a playoff game the next week because it was Halloween. It was high school football season. And this was my senior year. I'm like, dude, I'm not missing the playoffs. So the first time I just taped up my fingers together and then still snapped right-handed. We scored like 55 points. So it was great performance. But then the next week we were playing a school like 3 times the size of us. And after coming out of that game, I'm like, dude, I cannot snap again with my right hand. So I spent the whole week in my basement practicing with my dad, learned how to snap left-handed, and come out and play that game. We go and win 35-21 or something. I was like, dude, this was the greatest thing I've ever done. Just so gritty, so just such a Pete Herzog style of play. and like get the left hand, snap it, didn't miss a snap all game. I was so excited, dude. I've just been waiting all my life to share that with people. So
I love it.
And
I love it.
And it was shotgun all game.
Shotgun or pistol and shotgun all game.
Pistol, shotgun.
So,
and at least right-handed, can you spin it on the laces to fingers?
No, I got small hands, dude. I can't be doing all that. Like I just get it back there accurate every time. I never missed one my entire high school career. I missed one, like it was right here and we were handing it to the right and my coach let me have it. I'm like, dude, that's the first time I missed all year.
Jeez.
Perfection. He expects perfection. I respect that.
I love that
Red
story.
Bouchard, shout out to the GOAT.
I love that story so much.
What? So you started this appearance by agreeing with me that wearing 2 watches during a football game was a bit egregious. But you're hammered the week before a playoff game. Well,
it was the night after a playoff game that we won. So
you had to celebrate. Different. You had to celebrate.
I had to celebrate.
But what about
do whatever you want? 24-hour rule.
Except fight. Except I feel like fighting.
He got jumped.
Okay.
No, that was not sober Pete's decision. That was.
I was giving you an out, Pete.
If it was this Pete talking, I wouldn't have gotten into the fight, but that wasn't me.
Tiger got out of the cage there.
Dude, that was an ugly night. But show up to school the next on Monday, and I'm like all bloody, like cut up and black eye. And some teacher, dude, he was a dork. He was like, I think I'm gonna call the principal. I'm like, dude, do what you need to do. Like, Jesus, it's not that big of a deal.
Buddy, I've been up till 6 a.m. snapping left-handed in my basement. You can send me wherever the fuck you want.
How'd the playoff run end?
We lost state semis.
Been there.
Tragic. Don't bring that up.
Wow, you and Tim really are about the same person.
2 pieces.
We lost state semis, or no, that was state quarters my senior year. State semis was junior year, but we were so close. Never won it. State my sophomore year, never won it. So tragic.
Sometimes you can come back as a coach and win it.
That's what I'm saying. I think I just have unfinished business.
I couldn't agree more. Go back and win it. Wear your ring to the bar Wednesday night when you're 27 years old
100%.
Because you won it as an assistant coach. It goes over really well.
Yeah, no, it's fucking nails.
All right, Pete. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you guys.
Pete,
it was great to come on here with you. Have a little intro pod. It was good.
Yeah.
Fuck right,
all you gotta do hit leave, and it should load in, and then you just exit out once it loads.
Sounds good. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate
Thanks, brother. Pete. Peace, Pete.
Now
Kid's an electric factory.
Great guy.
All right, let's talk college football playoff. We've edged the viewers only an hour and 14 minutes.
Sorry, one more. Do you want me to do just like explain the atmosphere of Clemson, South Carolina, or like for that to be clippable, or do you want to ask me about it? No?
Tell the people when the video releases to get them to go watch.
Cool. Yep, you got it. Yep. You're a ton of fun. Yep.
Do you want it? All right.
I think I'm up.
Passionate
Are you passionate about it?
No, I was just gonna say that it was so funny because the teams both obviously sucked. That it was so funny how like not performative, but it was just like we are here because we're supposed to be here, and that was like extremely funny. Like there was like the hatred. It's a lot of house divideds, like so many shared flags at the tailgate. And it was just like in terms of when we rate this and we talk about like pure hatred and is this the best rivalry? Like there were so many people. I really appreciated both fan bases being self-aware. You know how many people said, this is the best you'll ever see, this is the top, whatever. Like so many people were like, yeah, this definitely ain't going to be your number one. This definitely ain't the year to come, but we're still going to do the damn thing, and happy to have you. Like, so I thought that was, in terms of what was it like?
Did the win by Clemson like actually cap off the year in a good way?
Well, I one of my men on the streets was like, does this like that? My big thing is like, it doesn't actually solve your season if you beat your rival. Like that is so like overblown. Maybe like, I think the Michigan Ohio State thing, again, quite the rabbit hole, is because that they hadn't won in a while. Like it was more like you still can't beat us. The whole Michigan thing, like
but when we talked Holy War, when we talked Dakota Marker, and when we talked Brawl of the Wild, like I think Brawl of the Wild they might play a rematch, so obviously that's changed. But I do feel like when BYU misses the playoff, right? They're going to be like, at least we beat Utah. It was a great season and we beat Utah. And I actually feel like the beauty in Clemson beating South Carolina, and even for Texas, right? A&M's going to the playoff. And as long as they don't win the thing, which by the way, they have absolutely no shot of, I think that when the dust settles, Texas fans are going to be like, we started the season as one. It was a bad season, but Arch came on at the end of the year and we beat A&M and we beat OU. And we can at least be like, all right, no one can talk shit to us from the fan bases who do, just because you made a college football playoff.
I think what my point of that hyperbole of the season's a success if you beat your rival, my point is, and I think you just kind of said it, is like it's an essential bullet point on any resume for the season, a coach, a quarterback. Like it's just one of the resume points. Like Clemson, it's like now at least like, and you lost to South Carolina is not a part of the negative things to say about 2025. I would look at it like in tennis, it's like, you want to win every slam, right? Those are all crown jewels, win every slam. So at the end of your career, and it's like, this guy won a US Open, he won French Open, he won Australian Open. Then it's like, God, but he never won, what am I missing? Wimbledon. He never won the US Open. Yeah, he's never won Wimbledon. Or it's like, all you did was win Wimbledon. It's like all you did was win national championships, but you never did win the US Open. You never did beat the rival. Like, so I look at it's like more fair to call it part, and it's an essential bullet point for.
And it's not, and then you look at the other side and you're South Carolina. It's like, that was the season from hell, and you lost to Clemson.
Correct.
In a bad year from Clemson. It's just, it could not have gone worse.
Yes, it is. And I also, my other take is they all should be played last week of the year. Anytime, any rivalry, Dakota Marker, any of these, like I want them all last week of the season.
The only thing that I was actually going to disagree with that and bring up, you do lose some of the students, because they're maybe not back in time. They went home for Thanksgiving. And now the majority of these rivalries, I understand they're from the state, but like, let's not be naive, especially in 2025. A lot of kids travel.
Yeah, but the only thing is you get off like maybe that week and weekend, but it's not like Christmas break. School is back on Monday, so most kids just come back at least to my knowledge. We obviously always had the game.
But Friday,
Everyone-
the vibe before a big. I'm
sure,
telling
but
you,
everyone's
and
back there for game day.
I'm 100%. But what do we talk about all the time?
It's a
What
good
was
counter.
the one
It's a
thing
good
missing of Utah BYU was Friday. And I'm telling you, when you guys, I pray to God I don't have another goddamn wedding on Texas OU next year, because I have to show you Red River. When you're out in downtown Dallas the night before Texas OU, even for an 11 a.m. kick, and you see it's the OU fans, the Texas fans, and everyone's from the area, there's nothing better. Like, that is the juice. And as opposed to Thanksgiving into Friday, people are coming back, and then it's like, I don't want to party. I was just with the family. I'm tired. Like, it's a different vibe.
That's totally fair. I think from an experience standpoint, I'm fine with that. But or it's like second to last of the season, play all your cupcakes Thanksgiving weekend or whatever. Like, there's just something about, I love how like Alabama has to go to Auburn to like
stakes are huge.
Yeah, and then even
Stakes
and then a Clemson, South Carolina, both teams stink, but it give you a reason to hang on till the last game of the season.
Yep.
For sure.
Right.
But you do need the Pitt, West Virginia in September, because that's a really fun one to get excited about as well. I agree. I think the real point is, like, it is so fun when the rivalry games are all going on at the same time at the end of the season.
And then you look at the thing and it's like, oh wait, BYU is playing UCF. It's like, no, they should be playing Utah right now, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's. But that's my.
What happens when you're a cuck?
I know.
Like, rival cuck.
It's pathetic. It's pathetic.
Yeah.
It's pathetic. Like, you don't have a real rival.
Like Penn State, who would Penn State play this week?
Rutgers, which is kind of an old school Big East, kind of used to matter.
Yeah, not to anyone born, in our century, but yeah, I think like LSU, we were talking about, like, they were like, oh, we're kind of a rival to Alabama,
right?
And it's like, you don't play them at Thanksgiving. So maybe you're not.
And it's just like, no, everyone just like really doesn't like you guys. Like, Ole Miss hates them. It's like every week's rivalry.
All right, should I pitch Texas, or how do you want to start this case?
Do you actually? I'm confused. Do you want them in or do you not want them in? The A/B testing. Do you think they should be in? Do you think they should be in or shouldn't be in? The A/B testing has me confused.
I want them in the playoff. I think that. I want them in the playoff, obviously, because I do think they are one of 6 teams that could win the title. I'm surely not saying they would. I would bet everything against it. But at its peak, we've seen the special teams are elite. Maybe they figured something out. I mean, they finally ran the ball. Tim, they haven't ran the ball since last year in the playoff.
I remember the team they ran it against.
Exactly. And so maybe they figured out how to play with a bad O-line, and we've seen the defense peak. So, like, when we're talking about who can win the title, like, we watched Alabama this weekend. I genuinely don't think they have a chance to win the title. Like, Simpson's not good enough. Their defense is solid, but not like an elite Bama D. I don't think that Oregon has a fucking chance in the world. I know A&M doesn't have a chance in the world. So I'll just say, I actually do think they're in the upside case. Texas could make some noise. And my other point as to why, who's the only team to play to play Ohio State close in the last 365 days? Texas twice. In terms of like what trips me up is
this is like it's like CNN. I just had like a politician on. What are we doing?
That's all this is.
Should
it's
they
all
be
politicking.
in or not?
Should they be in? What criteria are we using? Are we using the college football playoffs committee criteria?
Sure. Like when the results come out that Sunday morning of next week, are you going to look and go, Texas should be in this dance?
Yes, because the College Football Playoff Committee, their mission, the committee's task will be to select the best teams. That is their mission. Then rank the teams for inclusion in the playoff, then assign bracket. The committee's task will be to select the best teams. On December 2nd, I think, at full health, after going through the ups and downs and figuring themselves out, I genuinely believe they're a top 10 team in the country.
Got it.
But we also know that that's not their actual mission, because if it was their actual mission, there wouldn't be auto qualifiers and G5 and all that.
For sure, which is why I say what's on their fucking website is bullshit. But and then if you look at strength of schedule, well, obviously no one's got a tougher strength. We played 5 top 15 teams, head-to-head competition. Well, and this is the point that I really get stuck up on, is people keep telling me that they're not being punished for Ohio State. And I understand that they're being punished out of all the losses in the country. That's being punished the least. But they are being punished for Ohio State because even if they won close against Kentucky, who fucking sucks, even if they won close against Mississippi State, who fucking sucks, even if they lost at Florida, 10-2 Texas, if they don't play Ohio State, right? And everyone keeps telling me they're not being punished for that, is not behind Oklahoma or Vanderbilt in any scenario, because not only because they won head-to-head, because then people will just point to Notre Dame and Miami, because they also have 2 other top 15 wins.
But the funniest thing, because you guys lost, act like these non-conference games only have negative repercussions. Because if you guys had beaten Ohio State 100%. And lost to Texas A&M, you're in.
Correct. Which is why, and Dan Orlovsky, member of the Disney Network, and Kirk Herbstreit, member of the Disney Network, where the rankings going live in 90 minutes on the Disney Network, all said, and this I've been very clear on, especially next year, but even this year, if you're Texas and you play in the SEC, there's a pretty good chance you're not going to need that out-of-conference game and for it to be a highly, difficult game. If you're Miami,
you don't need but if you slip up and you happen to win at Ohio State on the road, that's pretty much a ticket to the playoff before the rest of the season takes place.
100%. And I said that. We said that in the moment. We said there's a high likelihood that this game could be a win-win for us. But what it turned out to be, because we lost to Florida, I think if we lose to Oklahoma on a neutral, but we take care of the bad teams, are people looking at it differently? Possibly. But here's another argument that I would make. And it's just more proof that all we care about is wins and losses. People can't get the 9-3 out of their head. If they had beaten Ohio State, but lost to Mississippi State, where would we be at?
You'd be in the playoff.
You think that at 9-3?
Yeah.
Why? Everyone would keep saying you can't lose at a 5-win team and at a 4-win team, because that's what they keep saying. That's what they keep focusing on.
I think
because we're not lacking big wins.
If Ohio State
we don't have the big deal.
The resume together that they did after the Texas, we had the same season except you flipped the 14-7 week 1, and we have the same resume and we're still probably respected as the best team in the country. Yeah, that gets you in.
I don't know if you are respected as the best team in the country at that point, because A&M is a 3. Was number 3 when we beat them. And all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, A&M stinks. And I agree. I'm just saying and it's all hypotheticals. I agree. It is absolutely take my ball home energy, but I do think there is merit to saying, what do you guys want? Do you want non-conference game? Because the other thing that people get confused by, because last year, by the way, we played the same schedule A&M played. We played all bottom feeders, took care of them. The Michigan win helped our resume in the grand scheme of things. I'm not denying that. You lost
the biggest game you played, Georgia.
We lost the biggest game we played. We were still in without a doubt. Texas by happenstance, because we scheduled these games 7 years, out. We played Ohio State coming off a national championship. We played Michigan coming off a national championship. We played Sam Darnold on the road when he was a projected number 1 pick. We played Bama back-to-back years while they were in a number 1 team. We're not Alabama playing Wisconsin and being like, oh, we can't play any Power 5 teams. Like, we just happen to play the best teams in the country. So when you're and this is why it's so critical, is Ohio State, I mean, you guys both told me they're going to be good for the rest of the time. So I would imagine you think they're going to be pretty damn good next year, right?
Well, they're going to be better than they are this year.
Exactly. So I get that you can't predict 6 years down the line, but how could you tell Texas right now that they shouldn't cancel that game? I get it. If you win it, it can be a bonus.
I think Miami is the perfect, like, if
but
Miami doesn't.
That's the point. Miami needs, because the ACC is so weak, and there's schedules in the SEC that are also weak.
That's wrong. Actually, that's wrong. If Miami doesn't schedule anyone good and takes care of the bad conference, they're actually still in. But the fact that they beat Notre Dame actually gave them room to fuck up a little. Like,
right, but they're still not cashing in on it.
Yeah,
well, they
but
fucked
imagine
up too much.
Yeah, they fucked up too much. Imagine if they
and I think one of my points was, once again, it's inexcusable to lose or to play Kentucky close. They just lost 41-0. They're horrendous. But it makes the season way more difficult when you are playing high-level teams throughout. That's just a fact. Like, when
Kentucky's not any better than fucking.
Wait. I'm not saying that. I'm saying okay, Tim, what is a look-ahead spot? A look-ahead spot is when you're looking ahead to a big game, a tough game. It's hard. It is just naturally harder versus when you've got Stanford, then you've got fucking some Mountain West bum, then you've got Navy, who's ranked and you're 28-point favorites because they fucking stink. Like, it's just harder when every week you have to, and Kentucky and Mississippi State don't fit that, but throughout the season you play 5 top 15 teams.
Yes, but you guys also get credit for that. You guys are the only conference that has discussions about 2 lost teams getting into the playoff. You're the only conference.
That's not true. Notre Dame is the 2-loss team. Miami is the 2-loss team. That's just
Miami's
not
true,
true,
Miami's not in the discussion.
Okay, so Notre Dame. Notre Dame's a perfect example.
That's it.
Yeah, no, you also get more mulligans than everyone.
Yeah. Everyone
Correct.
else gets
Yeah,
one loss.
everyone else
you guys
gets
get
one
2.
Correct. We get 2 mulligans. And so if we are going to get those mulligans, why would we schedule Ohio State?
Then don't.
Because
then don't. Like,
I know.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm saying that is the difficult position.
And I am not upset if I don't get to see Texas, Ohio State next year or the year after that or to the end of time. My problem with this whole fucking thing is, and the reason I don't even touch, like, I put up my playoff tweet and I immediately mute the conversation because I just do it because I'm supposed to in case Casey wants me to. I do not give a flying fuck. I don't care about 9 versus 10. I don't care who should have got in, who got jobbed, because it's just pick your poison to who, like, really isn't going to win the national championship. Means zero to me. Like, you guys joined the SEC. You guys, like, part of you guys started Longhorn Network. You started Big Brand. Like, the whole fucking thing is your fault. So I have no, like,
wait,
problem.
Why is it our fault?
Not you directly, but the thing, like, everybody's fault. Like,
right. So, but
just stay in the Big 12. Like, I've no, like, that's what I would say.
No,
they don't get it. Hey, we should schedule.
This is
just don't join the Big 12.
The problem,
like,
right? But
just
we
stay in the Big
did.
12.
But Tim, this is the problem. If it's almost like a situation where it's like, should Texas be in? No, they lost 3 games. Should have never lost to Florida. Should have never been close to Kentucky. Trust me, it's not like I don't see the argument for Texas being out. I want that to be very clear. I totally get why they should be out. But maybe you just let Texas in, because if you don't, there is a real possibility that the game will be gone. Like how we're going to continue.
All right, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If Oklahoma, who was not, it's all perception based off of the starting AP poll, which for right or for wrong, like we have to adjust from there accordingly. People weren't that high on Oklahoma. If they played Kennesaw State instead of Michigan in week 2, and they went
They're
Illinois
in because they had enough hard games. They had enough hard games. They played the hardest team. They played the hardest schedule. They played the hardest schedule in the country.
I'm just saying, then their resume with then Vandy and Oklahoma, you're having this game, whereas the reason that Oklahoma is in, they have a very similar
can I be honest?
SEC resume. The only reason Oklahoma's in is because they beat Michigan.
No, Vandy has no top 15 wins. Vandy hasn't beaten anyone. They've lost close to the 2 difficult teams they played, but they haven't beaten anyone. And that's
no. But I'm just talking about, it's not resume. It's where you are, and then how you've been shifted throughout the weeks.
I understand.
And they were moved up because they beat a ranked Michigan team.
100%. Once again, I'm not saying it's all downside. I'm saying for and maybe it's as isolated as Texas and Alabama, right? Bama just canceled their game, and Texas is threatening. I hope they don't. I don't think they will. It's probably an empty threat. And so maybe it just applies to those 2 schools, but knowing the brand, like, is anyone denying that Texas would be in the playoff at 10-2 had they scheduled Kennesaw instead of
So they would be 10-2 against Bama's 10-2 and everyone else is 10-2.
Yep. Against OU's 10-2, who they beat. Against Vandy's 10-2, who they beat. They'd have 3 top 15 wins. They'd have a bad loss at Florida, and they would have a loss at Georgia.
Yes, I think you're in this year, 100%.
Okay. So that is my point. Hold on. I just want to say, on that note, that's just my biggest frustration has been people saying that we're not being penalized for losing.
I'm actually not sure.
I think you're in.
And that's fine. People have said that.
I think you're in. But also the only reason you are locked in is because, again, where you started in the AP poll.
Yeah, and if we did,
because you would have been 1, and you would have just carried 1,
right?
And then you only would have been dropped so far because people would have been like, they're 3-0.
Correct.
Yeah. No, sure.
But Casey, I did argue that to you on Saturday, and you said that's not true, and then now you've changed your tune. I told you to go through that
because
exercise.
there were less big wins early in the season that I thought would consistently jump you. But again, I stand on this OU point. I'm not sure OU is 8, Bama is 10. I understand. But what I'm saying is, if they beat them, but they were 16 when they played them instead of 6, maybe the gap, they wouldn't have jumped them.
No, and this is also part of the argument for why the college football committee rankings should just come out at the end of the year.
Right.
We
should do full scope evaluation
and just spit them out at the end of the year.
Right, because the funny thing is,
but you know what Disney loses?
Hold on,
7 o'clock Tuesday show.
Yeah, everyone knows, man. Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah,
but
you said it.
But Tim, we know that people would never people will never be happy. AP poll, Vandy moved down after beating Tennessee, which is probably a fair assessment. They didn't Tennessee. Okay, all that game established was Tennessee fucking sucks. You didn't beat anyone, and we had you misranked. Imagine
did people move up ahead of them? Is that what happened?
I think someone.
So they didn't drop. People moved.
I mean, they technically dropped. Yeah, they couldn't hold their spot. All right, here's another one I've been testing that I want to get your point on or opinion on because it's so fun. This is why the conversation's so good. If you ranked all the results in college football and you were trying to be the way that we're putting teams in the playoff is the best resume, right? And you could attach points, and the number one win gets 1,098 points, and the second win gets 1,097 points, and the third, right? So you get the gist.
Why just how'd you end on 1,098?
It was like I was trying to do like 134 teams times 10, 12 games.
We used to have a formula like this that we decided to buy.
Right. People hated it. I'm curious, at what point in the results ranking is Texas's 7-point loss to Ohio State?
And we're ranking losses.
No, we're ranking results. So like,
got it. Yeah.
Right. So like Bama's win at Georgia, number 1, Indiana's win at Oregon, number 2. How deep until Texas's loss is actually better than a win?
No, that's you're correct. Like, I get what you're saying. It also is it's going to be based on priors, though.
Okay.
What I would say to that. Hold on. Case, I just want to.
It's going to be in order to play that game, you need the anchor of preseason rankings.
No, I'm saying if we did it now, knowing how good Ohio State is, knowing how good, like Oregon's win over Penn State, right? We look at very differently now. So at what point, like, is Oregon's win at Penn State in double overtime a more impressive result to you than Texas losing by 7 at Ohio State?
Ohio State, I guess, is more impressive.
So that is where it starts to just get all fucked up, because it's like you're 9-3. Well, in a weird way, we're actually 10-2 if it's more impressive than an Oregon win.
Your whole resume is being taken into account because your loss to Ohio State is a better result than your win in overtime against Kentucky.
For sure. But then you start to get into this game of like, okay, well, they have 3 top 15 ranked wins, and they have a result that people could argue is better than a ton of other ranked.
Yeah, wins. I would also argue that your result against us week 1, like, wasn't that good. You guys looked helpless. Well, it was Sam's first ever start.
This is again what you're making, Jack, is a power rating argument,
right?
And we all agreed BCS was essentially a power rating.
Yeah.
We all agreed that wasn't like what we wanted, because there had to be some merit to this.
Agreed, which is why I think it's silly that they shouldn't have written on the fucking website. The committee's task is to select the best.
And the website's bullshit.
And this is why I don't actually have as much fun doing the conversation as you may think, because I've joined this understanding it's basically pro wrestling. Like, I don't come in here thinking I'm in a meritocracy or I'm in a power rate. Like, I never operated under those circumstances.
And I'm also, I want to be clear, I'm not one of those who's like, well, Tech is 14 points favored over BYU. So like, no, I still think we need to play the games, and power ratings are definitely, like, my NFL power ratings have been all over the fucking map because who can figure out who's good in the NFL. Right. So it's not to say that, but I do think, and my point at the beginning when you asked, do I think Texas should be in? I do think, once again, on December 2nd, they are power rated, in my opinion, within that top 10 of teams. And that's why I think it is equally stupid that Miami can beat Notre Dame and be ranked below them. But I do think Notre Dame is better than Miami today. And the one thing that I actually feel like never gets talked about is Miami wants to pump up beating Notre Dame by 3, but the game was in Miami. And this is the same thing. The game was at Ohio State. Texas lost at Ohio State. So sometimes when I think people use head-to-head, so scrap the Texas-Ohio State point, but like Notre Dame lost at Miami. Does that mean you're better? But if you win by 3 points, you kind of just proved like that maybe Notre Dame's better by a half point.
Yeah,
And,
you're
like, if
even
they
teams on neutral.
right. Like, that's why
You
I say Texas
segued
winning
into-
over OU is like the best head-to-head win because you actually get to, and if you win on the road. But if you have a head-to-head at home against someone, I'm a little, and then I start to get into the, I think A&M should not be in the playoff. They virtually got lucky beating Notre Dame, and then it's like, any better would say, okay, well, Notre Dame's better than A&M today. So it is this funky part where it's like, we got to play the games, but we also should factor in where the game was played, because you still won the head-to-head, but you didn't win.
You're just continuing to further exploit that what this is. And that's why you get to a point where you go, there's no point of arguing this, because someone's always going to just like weigh something a little more. And
Correct.
Exactly.
And this is why I actually, all to say, what makes me like have a bullseye on me with this conversation is I actually have no problem with pretty much anything the committee does, because I understand how they got there. Like,
for sure.
Like, if they're going to go put Texas ahead of Bama tonight, I'm going to go, got it. I see how you went there. You said that Ohio State doesn't matter. We're not going to penalize. So like, that's I get how you got there. So,
I'm teasing this idea, and we're not live, so people are going to see it after, but I do think the committee, Tim, but the thing about that train of thought is like, outside of the Florida State decision, they do tend to resort to like the most turtled mentality and like, who's going to yell at us the least.
right.
So like, are they going to put Miami ahead of Notre Dame, tonight, just because they can stamp the head-to-head thing? Are they going to put Texas up above, just so they can say, well, we put you at 11, knowing that they're not? Are they going to say that like Bama could get knocked out of the playoff if they lose in the SEC championship? They may, but I do think there is an outside chance that they really go and say, fuck it, like Texas should be in, we're putting them in, and everything on our website allows us to do that.
Right. They show the badge when it applies to, it's like why lawyers are never out of business despite us always having precedents, because then they say, actually, this was a precedent that was actually just about arguing if coal was a legal thing to mine at the time.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's like, no, but we didn't say that you couldn't mine anything. Like they use different precedents.
And you don't enjoy it.
I don't enjoy the fact that like, I actually can see, I'm just better than all of you. I'm just like way better than all of you as a human being. And I can, like, if the committee doesn't put A&M in, if they go, look, they've beat no one, they lost the biggest game on their schedule, I would be like, got it.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
And if they put BYU at 3 and said the only thing that they've done wrong is lose at Texas Tech, who's a juggernaut, I would go, got it. Like, I'm just not, and maybe it's because it's not Clemson on the bubble.
Like, what if they put Ohio State at 4, and they're like, Ohio State beat no one the whole season?
I would say, got it.
Yeah.
Like,
no, okay. We got to draw the line at some point.
No, because
this is the point. We're better than.
And I'm not
because you're right. You are right. Your entire point was right until then.
No,
because then you're just like, I'll take anything they give me, but you'll take anything they give you within reason. Putting Ohio State anywhere but 1 is not within reason.
How? Who did Ohio State?
You could put Indiana at 1. Indiana could be 1.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Who did Ohio State? Wait, who did Ohio State beat this season?
We beat Michigan on the road.
No, 5,000.
We beat Washington on the road.
No, there it is. No one can beat them.
Yeah.
All right, I'm actually not doing. You know what's funny? Actually, the one precedent we haven't been able to change is that guns were a thing to protect ourselves when it used to take an hour to reload after shooting one thing. But now that we have ARs, that's the one precedent we can't overcome. It's funny how that works.
Is this a fucking 2A conversation? Are you like real life?
What are you talking about?
I just think it's insane. When you're right. Everywhere has been a workaround, except for the fact that you couldn't kill 1,000 people with one gun when that rule was in place, and now you can. But we're like, no,
I'm clipping this,
meant it.
tagging every Texas Tech person, and then sending you there for the
Yeah,
playoff.
man. Jesus Christ.
All right, anyways, my
You're
only
a
point.
moron. You're
My
a
only-
literal moron.
My only point on the playoff, and Tim, I agree with most of what you said until you got to the Ohio State bit, was I think that every game should be taken less as importance as the year progresses. I want the version of every team, like within reason, within context.
Wait.
My point being, the Miami Notre Dame game. Everyone wants to talk about head to head. Why do you play the games? And I think it's a ridiculous conversation to just be like head to head and ignore the fact that they had a freshman quarterback on the road in his first game, and he has clearly gotten better as the season progressed. But people are like,
so you
well,
have
we
Texas
beat them.
in.
I said, I think Texas is one of the best teams.
So then again, and I don't think this is again why I'm so much better than all of you. I don't think that that's a bad way to look at it. In fact, I actually agree with you.
Right.
But then how do you apply what you believe? So
Right, no,
Bama
it's
got
all
waxed
like-
by Florida State.
It's almost
This is why I said it's the
So now
best
what
brain
do you
rot. This is the best brain rot in the world. I admit off the top it is brain rot, but it's the best one because it's right. Like the NFL, I can argue, are the Patriots good or not? But it doesn't matter because they're going to be in the playoff.
By the
It's
way,
not fun brain rot.
You're
This
about
is
to
the
bring
good
up
stuff.
Alabama. You're 100% right. I don't think they could. I don't think they should be in their last 5 games. One possession to South Carolina,
again,
one
what you're
possession to
losing is
LSU.
I'm
They
not
lost to
arguing
Oklahoma,
again,
and one possession to Auburn.
you
If
miniature
Alabama
brain
gets blown out in the
morons.
SEC, this is my final thing. If Alabama loses significantly in the SEC championship and BYU loses close in the Big 12 championship and they put in Alabama over BYU, I'm out on Saturday season 3 and I'm shunning college football.
You're not though. You're just
You're
not.
No,
not.
I
It's
am.
the good
I don't
stuff.
watch it
It's
to
the
begin
good
with.
stuff.
And
Florida
I'll
State
find a new
fans
job.
still
Yeah,
watch.
again, so
Florida
we didn't
State
even lose
fans
you. We
watch
didn't
every
even
week.
lose you. Yeah, you Florida State got jobbed and they came right
They didn't
back
get jobbed.
and they flew
didn't
to
have their fucking quarterback.
They believed
Casey, they
got
were
jobbed.
undefeated.
I
They
don't
were
care. I don't
They had the
care.
best defense in the country.
I think that's actually the best thing they've ever done. Is been like
Agreed.
we actually have to ignore the
you're
fact
so
that
small-brained and stupid.
that they're
You're not-
undefeated and deserve it, but they don't have their fucking quarterback.
You
so
can't
He
even
let's
step
agrees.
out.
He
You can't even
agrees.
step
He
out
agrees.
and understand.
Right.
They
Right. Come
believe
speak
they
with
got
the adults.
they believe they got jobbed.
They don't.
Yeah. Casey.
No, they just bitch because they were angry. They know deep down it was the right
Okay,
decision.
now we're
No,
arguing
they
what
don't.
they think.
Okay. All
I
right,
know what
Casey.
they think.
All right,
That's
Casey.
conjecture.
Casey, when Tech wins by 2 touchdowns on Saturday.
Yep.
And we all know BYU is not one of the 12 best teams in the country, and they missed the playoff. You think BYU fans aren't going to think that they should have been in the playoff? Deep down, they're still going to
Deep
think
down,
they should.
if they get outplayed on a neutral the way they did it in Tech, I believe the BYU fans deep down as much. Not that they're gonna admit it, and not that they're not gonna get angry. I
No.
believe that those geniuses who are
You're an
sober
idiot.
are
You're an
going
idiot.
to really know deep down they don't deserve to be in.
No.
You don't think that fans you really think that Florida State fans don't believe that they got jobbed?
I don't. I think maybe
Yeah.
a couple delusional ones, but most of the sane thinking ones who are like, "This is bullshit," know deep down that it's not actually bullshit.
So if the scenario you said BYU plays close, Bama was it blown out, you're done with college football?
If they put Bama in, if Bama loses by 17 points and Georgia outplays them the entire game, and BYU loses on a last-second field goal, and Alabama gets in over BYU, yes, I'm done.
Got it. You can't see another side.
To the Alabama thing?
Yeah.
No, they haven't played good football in 3 months.
Okay. So
But realistically, both teams should be out in that scenario.
No. If BYU loses by a field goal to Tech, who is an actual fucking juggernaut, they should be in.
Yeah,
Because
man.
who
They're
knows,
more
if you
than
put
juggernaut.
BYU on the other side of the bracket, there's no saying that they couldn't meet them in the championship against Tech.
What?
okay, we lost the plot again.
We did.
Back to what I was saying until we said
By the
Ohio
way,
State.
we have 6 minutes left. I'm cutting us off at 2 hours.
By the way, when you said, "Oh, Ohio State can be if there are 3, you don't agree. Again, I'm also better than all of you because I'm not a whiny fucking bitch as a fan. I actually always assume the worst of my teams. If my team had a loss to Florida State week 1, okay, if I was Alabama, I'd be going, well, you don't lose to Florida State in week 1 as 21-point favorites. If my team was Texas, I would go, well, you don't go to overtime with Kentucky and lose to Florida.
I
and
actually
that's the other
disagree
thing.
because in a game of opinion and when the results are not black and white like the NFL playoffs, it actually is the fan bases and the coach's job to
You got to
plead their
run good
case.
PR. Yeah.
You have to
I
be
didn't say the
PR.
coach. Again, you bring up other things. The coach can do whatever they
No,
want.
but the fans
No, the
actually
fans
can
too.
make an
If you don't,
impact.
if your fan base is not pushing your agenda, then they think you don't believe it.
I know. It's ridiculous.
It's the same thing with MVP. You got to play in prime time. You got to have your fan base shitting on the rest of your team, despite it being your team.
Yep.
And the only reason Pavia's in the Heisman discussion is because he's talking about the Heisman. You actually have to bitch.
You have
and
to run
complain.
a campaign. You have to run a. You got it. But I'm just better than all you.
Right.
I don't.
So you're doing Clemson an injustice in a year where they would actually need your platform.
Right. They
to tell
could be in
people
playoff.
why-
They just won at an SEC school, top 10 win.
Right.
If you just went off preseason ranking.
So that's why I'm
And-
clipping the BYU Bama thing, because when they collab me on it, it goes viral, and that situation happens. The committee's like, they knew this was going to happen. We agree.
Yeah.
They've got to go in.
No, you're right. You got to be a part of the campaign. There's no doubt about it. You're definitely right about that. But
If it's not black and white, you got it. You got to fight your fight. Ooh, that round.
Johnny Cochran over here. I can't play. I don't want to.
Yeah,
play.
that's also
No,
fun.
yeah. You not wanting to play, that is your decision, and we're not blaming you.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to play.
I said
In the group chat, it's like, how do you not put Miami in if they won the head-to-head? And it's like, bro, you don't fucking know. And I'm like, all of a sudden, it's 9 p.m. Perfect. I get to go to bed soon.
And it was the encapsulation of this all is I was home for Thanksgiving. I went to the bar Wednesday night, and actually funny, the last thing I want to do is talk about sports. I don't want to, what was the best experience? I just want to chill and be at home. And first thing I see is my group of buddies who 9 of them went to Alabama. And they were like, you tell me that Alabama is not one of the best 12 teams in the country. And I was like, yeah, I think right now, I did like them all year. I think they're pretty good, but I was, massaging it. And then they were like, and so you tell me how they don't get in. I go, well, I actually can give you a scenario how they don't get in, and you're going to get mad at me. And they were like, no, give me the fucking scenario. So I was like, if BYU wins the Big 12, BYU's in and Texas Tech's in. And they were like, I don't believe that. I go, no, that will.
That's actually just a fact.
I go, no, but that would be how it would. I go, I'm not telling you it is. It's a parlay of events, but that would be how they get in. And you guys lose the SEC championship. Or I said, you don't even play for the SEC championship. No, bro. Blah, 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 blah. I eventually said, no, say it with me. Watch. They would be in as an automatic qualifier. And they were like, Big 12 gets an automatic. So one of them said, Big 12 gets an automatic qualifier. I go, yeah, they do.
They don't? Well, no, they don't.
No, so then
Not necessarily.
So then he actually said, well, they actually don't. They went away with that. I go, got it. So JMU and North Texas jump you guys. And they were like, never mind, let's stick to BYU.
Right.
So then I finally got everyone to settle down. And then the other one, Bama kid, was not in the conversation. And he tapped me on the shoulder. He goes, tell me how Bama doesn't get in. And I go, okay, I'm going to tell you how Bama doesn't get in, but you're going to get really mad at me, even though it's kind of a long shot. I start to explain. They go, you don't think, you're telling me Bama's not one of the 12 best teams in the country? I said, okay, I'm done here. and then the other Bama kids that I'd already talked to about it go, he's right, bro. He's right. There is a scenario. And I was just like, good God. And my face is red, and I hadn't even had a drink in 2 hours because I'm doing the whole thing. I'm just like, I came here to have some Coors Lights with the fellas, and I'm a horse.
But it
convincing
is
you how someone logistically could happen by someone.
It's
But it
literally
also
a-
is
it's
nice
a car
being in the
crash,
position
though.
of you being, you're smarter. And it's like, you're in the position where it's like, if you don't understand, you just have a small IQ and I can live with that.
But
You know?
it's
like,
also,
I know
Tim,
I'm right.
Tim, it's the best car crash ever. where it's like, I'm not pulling over. I'm not going to pull over. I don't care about what's happening over there. And then one kid's like, tell me how Bama couldn't get in. You're like, fuck it. I'll pull over.
And I gave all the prerequisites. I go, you're going to get mad. You're not going to believe me. You're going to start shouting. Then you're going to say, I hate Alabama. So let me just get it on. I like Alabama.
Wait, that was what I did in my Texas video. I said, I know we lost 3 games. I know we lost in Florida, and it doesn't matter. No, like they'll just get mad at it.
And they chose to system override all of those, and just, but you don't think. I was like, okay. And I did the thing. You have to do the thing where you have to do it like a land recognition. Like you have to do. I believe the SEC is the best, and I believe Bama's good. Now that we did the land recognition, we can go into the conversation. Every talking point about this, you have to say, I believe the SEC plays a more difficult schedule. I believe that every week is harder. I believe that playing on the road at Kentucky is far, far more difficult than playing at Ohio State. I believe it. Okay. Now can we talk? That's what you have to do.
All right.
Case, can we just give a pick real quick?
Yeah, NFL picks. I'm taking Ravens -6.
I like that. I like that a lot. My other best bet is
I think
Denver.
there's actually a chance Tomlin gets fired before the season ends. I may be delusional.
Cool. No one asked. Denver -7.5.
I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings laying 1.5 at home to Washington.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Amazing. All right.
Disgusting pick.